Welcome back to episode 7 of the Warcraft Mist and Pandaria Classic Night Elf Leveling Journey. Today we're continuing through the grind, working through some quests, we're going to build up some professions, and talk about something I want to start bringing in the series more. Basic investing. So nothing complicated, no financial advice, just beginner-friendly ideas about how money can grow over time. Kind of like leveling a character. So, last episode we continued through Westfall, jumped into Ragefire Chasm. We kept leveling skinning and a little bit of leatherworking. It was a good mix of questing, dungeon XP, and profession progress, which fits perfectly with today's topic. So, building progress from multiple sources. So here's kind of the target here. So we are going to queue for a dungeon now, and we're gonna probably get a little bit back into Westfall if needed. We're gonna level skinning and leatherworking. We're gonna upgrade skinning. We're gonna continue to upgrade the gear, improve the hunter rotation, and just keep building up, stacking gold and XP. We're going to keep XP moving, we're going to keep the professions climbing, and start thinking about how this small progress is going to add over time. So, hi. Level 8. Okay. We got some people on the server, it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll run into a dungeon with them. So we want to speak to the guard, we want to go to professions, and we want to go to skinning.
Go with honor.
So the name of the game here is light leather right now, so we're going to level some professions as we kind of wait for the queue to work. So I'm streaming this later in the day. Hopefully we get lucky, and it looks like we are going to get somewhat lucky. So we have a healer and 3 DPS a minute into the queue. So that's excellent. My guess is if we get one more dungeon in, I think we'll be ready to move to the next area. And it wasn't too much of Westfall. Not really by design. I think we just got lucky with the queues. I'm going to try to do as much as possible on stream. Kind of want to give you the full access to the account. Also helps give me some tips, to keep improving as well. So we're going to go
Can I help you?
trainer, and we are going to be a journeyman.
Safe travels.
So now I'm going to start using up this leather. I do, and the leatherworking.
What can I do for you?
Beautiful. Okay. So what do we need for this coarse thread? Okay. So these require 2 light leather. They're not really going to be too useful for us, though. That's the thing. Alright. So let's just level it up. Still orange. Okay. Just going to make sure we get these as they come in. Let's create 4. So, the main idea behind investing is you basically want to put your money into assets. Basically what these assets do is they have potential to grow over time, and key phrase, over time. Investing, it's, as much as people might think, it's really not supposed to be about gambling. It's not really about chasing hype at all. Kind of at its simplest, investing is it's putting money into something productive and giving it time to grow. So a lot of what we're going to talk about is, from a relatively beginner investor, really the whole name of the game is you want to, so how you learn it is present value of future cash flows. So I know that's complicated, but basically what that means is you're going to, say, invest in a stock, and the stock might be, let's just say, $100. If that stock is going to pay a dividend, say 1, 3, 5%, just for instance, say 1%. And a lot of these dividends, they could quarterly, they can occur really typically 4, 2, or 1 times a year. So basically here, the aspect of it is a lot of what we're going to be talking about is the returns on investment, and that is exactly the reality of it. If something is returning just say $1 every quarter, that turns into about a 4% dividend. But dividend stocks are great because you hold the stock, you don't worry about it, and it just keeps paying you over time. That's kind of the allure to it. Obviously there's dividends, and then there's just kind of index fund investing. And index fund investing is typically much more centered on growth as opposed to dividend stocks. But realistically, a lot of
For the Alliance.
these investments take time to build over time. But as we continue to build these investments, we just want to be mindful of keeping it investing and keeping it more focused on, hey, this is
Have a good one. What can I do for you?
more of a
See you around.
long-term game. And I think as we continue through the path, once you first start investing, you'll start to see slow returns over time, and it really won't feel like all that much. But the name of the game is to keep steady and to keep focusing on, the small wins, the small gains over time. And it truly adds up. So there's dividends, which is a great segue to get into. I personally don't have too many in dividends. A lot of them, of what I do have as far as dividends, are S&P 500 investments that return about a little over 1% a year. Just kind of a key connotation is the dividends are something that reduce the value of the share price. So say you get a 1% dividend on a $100 stock, you get the dollar, and the stock is now worth $99. There's a common misconception about dividends, and what I want to kind of clear up is there's a kind of like a thought process that, if you've ever heard of drip investing, dividend reinvestment plan, or whatever it is, plan. I don't know what the P is, but it sounds like plan. And
Have a good one.
the key component to that is
Hey there.
that stuff is actually taxed
Be
on
careful.
Looking for something specific?
not ordinary income, but typically what's called qualified dividends. So a lot of that ends up being taxed at capital gains. So typically, unless you're just starting out and your income, I believe, is below around 50,000, it's going to be at zero. But it's something to keep in mind because
Have a good one.
ordinary income, so like money you earn at your job, is going to be taxed at ordinary income. So the qualified dividends are great, and they're taxed at, I believe, capital gains rates. So if you say you invest in a little bit of stocks and a little bit of dividends, and you end up selling, and after you've made a slight profit, that's going to come out as the stocks themselves are going to come out at capital gains, which is typically, I'd say for most people, probably 15%. But same thing with dividends, qualified dividends, and price appreciation on a stock or capital gains. So there's a certain aspect to investing that makes it advantageous, and more advantageous than working a job. It's like ordinary income. I think if the average income is about, I'd say for a household, 75 to 80,000, they're kind of getting taxed at already 22%. And for price appreciation on stocks and dividends, you'd have to be earning like over 500 grand to even get 20%. And the first 50,000 of those appreciations are taxed at 0%. So that's why there's incentive to invest, because there's tax breaks. And then it gets a little bit more so with businesses. I'll get into it eventually. But I just kind of want to keep that there. So stocks and dividends we've talked about. Yeah, so we're going to kind of get back a little bit to the WoW. I just wanted to add a little bit of investing terminology.
Be careful.
So as I incorporate it and talk a little bit about more, it'll just make a little bit more sense to you guys. Some people might already know this, but it's good to just kind of get a little sense of it.
I supply only the finest goods.
Okay, so we're moving along.
Farewell.
So we really are starting to get to that time for the next area. So let me start game planning. So we could do Red Ridge Mountains, I guess. I think we're gonna do some Duskwood. We're gonna do some Duskwood. So let's kind of take a journey back, and obviously we've leveled up leatherworking. Okay, so we're in a good spot. So we're gonna go back to the hippogriff or whatever. I would love for this queue to pop right now, because then I could get the mount. Now that I think about it, actually, let's see here. I might get lucky with the mount. Because we need about a level and a half and a little more than a level and a half before we get the mount. But we're cruising along. Probably do one dungeon finder here, and then we'll kind of start getting set up for Duskwood later on. But this is kind of a good track. We're doing very well. We're starting to learn a lot of skills, and as you can probably tell, I'm not using all of them. There's not truthfully as much of a need because I have a few BOA gear, but it's not completely overpowered. It's strong. It's mostly because I've been just getting extra XP, and then I'm fighting a lot weaker mobs.
Great to meet you.
A lot lower level mobs. So we do get apprentice riding at 20.
Travels.
We're gonna have to figure out the mounts.
See you soon.
So I think that's gonna be in Dalinar, or Darnassus, I mean. So
Well met.
we can kind of hang
Keep
out
your
here.
feet on the
I don't
ground.
want to waste too much time. I think
King's
we'll
honor,
just
friend.
start heading over to Duskwood. Actually, let me get...
Light bless you.
Nah, we'll figure it later. I was gonna get my Hearthstone. Right now it's Shadowglen, oh boy. All right.
Need help?
But we'll move over to Westfall.
Or the
Let's
Alliance?
see exactly where... Okay, so Duskwood is south. Okay,
What can I do for you?
so this is south.
Be careful.
Where's Sentinel Hill? But yeah, I mean... Again, the stock is... It's basically a small ownership, a piece of a company. If a company does well over time, stock can become more valuable. Stocks can also go down, huge risk. That's why you want to diversify as much as you can, because if you're just investing in one stock, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever the company is, unless you know it cold, and that takes time. It's not something that happens right away. So for bonds, a bond is more like lending money to, say, a government or a company, and they pay you they give your money back after a certain period of time plus a little bit extra called interest. Bonds are considered a little less aggressive than stock, but they still have risks. Index funds, the one that I've been hyping up a little bit, I mean not hype, but trying to get hyped up, is a basket of many stocks. So instead of trying to pick one perfect company, you just own a ton of them. And for a lot of beginners, and truthfully for most people, it's easier to understand than trying to do individual stocks. And then also cash savings. I mean, How many times have you ever been, you know, kind of having to repair your car, all of a sudden you get a flat tire and whatnot, and you need money to be able to pay the mechanic. So having that too, it's important, because before someone really invests heavily, you want an emergency fund. The money you might end up needing tomorrow should not be in the stock market. So the deal is with that, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of the times what happens is, if you were to go invest it, right, and say like in a week you needed the money, when you take that money out, it's called short-term capital gains. So how much money you've gained on the appreciation. But the problem is what that means is you're now
I need to get closer.
getting taxed at ordinary income, like you would at your job. So it's all about minimizing taxes, as you started to see. But as we keep moving along, an index fund is, like, to put it in WoW terms, an index fund is kind of like a party of characters. So picking one stock is like me going into Ragefire Castle by myself. I mean, sure, it's possible I can get it done, but it's way easier if I go with a group. The emergency fund is kind of like the gold you have set aside for repairing your gear, and obviously the Hearthstone, so that's obviously pretty important. Investing consistently is like questing regularly. You hop on, you do your daily, you keep moving. Oh, 23. Okay, let's try it. Let's see here. Let's do a good test. Alright, so we're really not quite at this level yet. I thought Duskwood was 20 to 25.
I can't do that.
Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. So a good little first test of
I need a target. I can't cast that.
So again, here's the risk: is once you start going into a little bit of a trickier. This is kind of fun though. 318. Okay, so I don't think we're quite here yet. No, we need skinning level 120 for those guys. Duskwood is 20 to 25. Okay, so maybe we just need to go a little further in. Something tells me we're gonna need to keep staying in Westfall. Would have been nice if it procced, but we're gonna keep moving along. Kind of a dry period as far as getting the levels and whatnot. So we're just gonna continue in Westfall. Gonna not take on bite off more than we can chew.
I'm out of range.
It's good because these are kind of the perfect level for us, level 15. But it's good we know we can take on the stronger mobs if we really needed to. But we're gonna hang out here for now. We're gonna keep getting our professions up. Keep soloing. Okay, so this is the quest. So we're kind of back here. Alright. Well,
I need a target. I need a target.
let me get some tires. Alright. So I do need to focus on skinning. I'll do this quest because it's kind of fun. Just killing people.
I don't have a target.
It's pretty easy to do in the game.
Not ready.
Be awesome if we get a relief. I really appreciate that. So one thing I definitely could have done better in the bigger mobs, I know it really won't matter kind of after this dungeon, but just being able to use that disengage, just kind of creating space, is definitely gonna help here. Oh, hold on here. Am I just finding this out now? Oh, so Hunter Mark automatically gets activated? Oh boy, I'm just learning this now. That's strange. Okay. Now I know, I guess.
It's too far away. I can't do that yet.
62, another high. So we just gotta fight Django now. Django Spot Hide. They're very creative with these names. Kind of a breeze so far. This guy should be somewhere over here. Here it is. I'd love to fight an elite though, but whatever. If there would be one on the map, it would be apparent because we're able to go. Let's go grab him. So we gotta go all the way back. Oh my god. We need that mount. We'll just keep walking. Kind of soloing some mobs. I really would love to get to level 20, but this is kind of where... Okay, I just saw something. There we go. Figured there'd be one around here. I know I talked a little bit about investing. I do also want to talk about the game. I mean, every time I'm playing this game, it's just like absolutely incredible. I'm just checking. It doesn't look like it's too laggy, which is good. Two tigers are getting so interesting. So we're gonna try to get that, because one of the downsides of dungeoning is when you're questing, you can keep moving along those professions as needed.
I'm out of bread. I can't do that.
It would be questing. It would be quests themselves. Then it would be
I need to get closer.
doing dungeons. Then it would just be kind of killing mobs, which is what I'm doing right now. But it's not too difficult. Just gonna keep moving along. I'm just gonna keep looking for these boar. Get them out, grab them how I can. Okay, so here's the deal. So arcane shot gives you the hunter's mark. Good to know. Keep moving along. It's gonna be a bit of a setup video. I was really hoping we would have gotten the dungeon queue by now. But it is what it is. It's kind of a product of being a DPS. And that's our first 400. We're moving along, I mean. Hasn't been too long and we're already hitting 400, so
I need to get
I'm sure I'll be laughing about that, you know, in the future, that I was happy to hit a 400, but progress. It's slow. You know, a lot of people think, kind of back to investing, a lot of people think it's complicated, but the foundation is usually really simple. I mean, you're gonna hear this, like, it's the gold standard. Spend less than you make, build emergency savings, avoid high interest debt, like credit cards and whatnot. I mean, if it's anything over 7%, you should be paying that down. Because you have to think of the long game. Like, I know it seems great to be able to go buy something, and like go to whoever and be like, yeah, I got this, I got that. But I'm telling you, the amount of less stress you'll have over your life is going to be dramatic if you just go and just pay down the debt the best you can. I mean, Most of the times you even want to pay down the debt before you even start to invest. If it's anything over 7%, typically that's usually what you want to do. But once you start doing that, you can invest over time. The fun stuff kind of comes later. I wouldn't say if ever. I think it's just trying to play the long game here and focusing on those small incremental decisions that accrue over time, which just means build up. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the investing spiel. I want to get a little bit more in detail, but I really want to set the foundation a little bit, just so we can get a good understanding of, so we're all kind of on the same level here. And obviously, as this series progresses, I'm going to be learning stuff, going to be doing my research. But a lot of what's going on here is just small incremental decisions that you make over time that just compound. I mean, it's a long, long life, so just understand that. And there's a lot more that goes on with money that's just kind of not an opportunity you'd be afforded to until you get to, certain financial security and then stability. But you'll start to see it. You'll start to even see things open up. You'll be able to take more advantage of opportunities, and it really will help over time. Just kind of having that base foundation. I remember when the hunter used to have, if it was like, I think within 5 meters, I wouldn't be able to, I'd have to use a melee weapon, which was such a pain in the butt. But I don't know, it is what it is. I do like it better now that you can just use it at any range. Can I attack this? No, it's strange they even offer that. So I know we're really kind of focusing on professions right now, but I guess the nature of doing rage fires that you kind of just end up leveling. You kind of become, it's almost like not biting off. It's like biting off less than you can chew, because then you're just like, shit, I got everything else. But I thought Westfall was 1 to 20, and yet they're all level 12 and 13.
I'm out of range.
It's really annoying. Can I move this? This must be so annoying for you guys. Okay, that should be a little better. Just so you can see the skill levels. I don't know how much in depth you are looking at that stuff, but you never know. So they're only level 13. I guess I just gotta go really deep into.
We need to get closer.
13 is okay, we're still gonna get levels. We really want, like, is Westwall 10 to 15? Am I just going crazy? Oh, it's 10 to 15. Oh boy. So we should just went to Red Ridge, but screw this. I'm kind of gonna wait for this dungeon to queue. I really hope it's not anything crazy. If we don't get the dungeon, we'll just make it work. So this is kind of difficult now. So 12. Okay. So these tusks will get us our skin levels. And kind of back to the message we've been echoing. Like, a lot of this is not glamorous. The leveling part, the boring part, where you're watching me skinning these boars for just a few levels. It's just, when you look back, you don't think about each individual decision you've made along the way, but that's what gets you to where you are. and we're just gonna keep moving along. We're gonna try to get, I think it was 120.
I need to get closer.
I really don't want the whole series to me just skinning animals, trying to level up leatherworking and skinning, but we're gonna. It seems like it's probably taken up most of this episode. But we're gonna keep on moving. I was really hoping we had like the healer and the 3 DPS so early in the queue. I thought we were gonna be set. So this, if we do get the queue, it might end up being a little bit longer of a video. Right now we're probably around the 30-minute mark. But yeah, let me know the size of the videos if you want. I assume 40 minutes is probably a decent amount. But just let me know, whatever you guys are interested in. Definitely very flexible. It's just kind of fun for me to play for an hour or 40 minutes, go upload a video, and then kind of just wait and chill, go to the gym, whatnot. And it keeps me excited about this, where, you know, a lot of it's not necessarily, like, I mean, I guess, like, this topic, like, playing this game like World of Warcraft and, like, anything, like having a job, there's definitely burnout where you just straight up don't have nearly as much desire as you did when you first started, if you ever really even had desire in the first place, which can cause burnout. But I think that you really want to do everything in small bits, small bite-sized pieces. I mean, there's been studies, and, you know, I see it at work all the time. Like, if you work hard for an hour and then you go take a 5-10 minute break, you can come back, like, genuinely, like, you'll just see things in a way that you wouldn't have seen it at the end of that hour. And it's just kind of having that understanding in your mind that if, like, you know, you almost want to look. You don't want to, like, look forward to the break. I mean, you do, but you really want it to help reset your thinking, not just, hey, I could take a break now and this and that. But that happens over time to kind of get more of a, like a knowing when you should just, you know, kind of just relax and reset. So we're at 94, so we're moving along. Worst case, we just really need to get to, I mean, realistically, it'd be great to get to 110 though. So I think I'm gonna keep
I don't have a
trying
target.
I want to find more of those boars.
I need a target.
I really think we should have done Red Ridge Mountain, but we'll see. We'll keep going. If we don't get the queue, we'll try to. We could try to get a pet or something. That'd be kind of fun. Just kind of walking around. Just say a quick prayer for the queue. Quick prayer. Pray to the gods. To the gods of Azeroth, I guess. World of Warcraft land. You know, it's funny, like, I'm thinking about that, like, just kind of having a little bit of faith in the markets. Again, like I've talked about in previous episodes, like, think of all the bad things that have happened to the stock market over the course of America's life. Like, in every single 20-year period where you can pick X day on X month on X year to fast forward 20 years, you've always made money in the market. And I know 20 years sounds like crazy, but again, it goes back to, like, the first episode. It's like,
It's too far away.
if you really want to live to 65, you want to get there, you're gonna want to retire, and you kind of want to just have a little nest egg that you can rely on, and you not have to feel like you're stuck and whatnot. We're soloing these guys. I did like the challenge of Duskwood, not gonna lie. Had I had the skilling level, I probably would have just, like, tried to suck it up and just
I need to get closer.
just practice my PvE, but, you know, would have been on the difficulty level of PvP. typically what happens with me, and I think this is just typical of the gathering versus production professions. Leatherworking's gonna trail behind a little bit, like even as we see here. You do have a little bit of light leather, but we're gonna kind of keep moving along. We're gonna double task if we can. So we're at 99 skinning. So it seems that every 5 levels is level. This might be 100 here. No, but 4 light leather, take it. Take it any day of the week. Yeah, I know it's getting late. Maybe if we can get like a nice little queue here, that'd be awesome. I kind of need level 13 as well. If I can get to 100, then it's fine. Luckily, we're probably gonna get 100 here, even though they're green. So just so you know, if you've never played this game before, for the leveling professions, if something's orange, so pretty sure how this works is you always get 100% to gain a level if you've done an action that's orange. If it's yellow, I think it's something like between 30 and 70%, depending, relatively speaking, on what level you are. Say if something's yellow and you're 100, it might be 50%, but if you're 105, it might be at 45% or whatever. But kind of learning as we go along. There's obviously little mechanics that you just learn along the way. Just kind of experience. I didn't look, when I played growing up, I did not look up anything, like literally anything. The only time I looked up were like PvP talents, and like I was just clearly not good at PvP, except for my kill on the shaman on my brother's account. But yeah, when I did not even know what like PvP gear was, and I would just roll in with like a bunch of blues and greens into PvP and just pray. But I think once we level up to 19, I think that will make us strong enough. Oh, and this is a gray. That would have been perfect. Just see if he drops anything. Might get lucky.
Inventory is full.
Alright. I would have loved to get to level 19 a little faster. Got super lucky with Ragefire Chasm. Keep moving along though. Maybe we can get a 13 or something. So I'll level my 102.
It's too far away.
It's okay, but not too much going on. More of an informational video, which is kind of cool. It's nice to switch things up and talk a little bit more about the basics. We can get into a bunch of, like, if you guys want, if you guys have a question about a specific topic, I could just go long form on it. Just do the wait for the dungeon and kind of queue up, and then, you know, kind of figure it out. But it would just be cool to know. Like, I find this stuff really interesting. Don't know if it's quite a passion of mine, but I really love learning about it, which I guess would be a passion. Kind of a nerdy thing to say, but realistically, sometimes the nerds run the world. I wonder if we can get AoE in, I think aim shot is AoE. We'll figure it out. We could just change up the talents as we move along. So 104, maybe we can get 105. Oh, I was lucky. We can get 106. Okay, so for green, 50% chance like that, 2 of 4 is pretty good.
Inventory is full.
Oh, I think right over here is let's just sell our stuff. So we're still moving along, kind of getting to that
Light
mark.
be with you.
I think we'll go get the level and then reassess from there. So again, bags are still small, but we're working through it. Quartz liver. There, I mean, I really should have gotten cooking, but whatever, it is what it is.
Light bless
Got a
you.
bit of linen cloth. We could do some first aid. I don't know if there's like too many twinks on Miss Pandaria Classic, but
It's too far away.
I would need the full set of BOA. Level. Next level's 19, and that used to be. I used to make twinks when I used to play. But then people were super hardcore. Be like maxed arena people, just like at 19, just like it's just crazy. So okay, so that's actually gray. So level 10 is gray, good to know. Level 13 is still green. So we're kind of back here. So let me try to go, I think there was a... This is just not too productive use of my time. I think we'll just start making our way over to it. Once we hit 19, I think we'll be in a really good spot for Dustwood. At least it's not 25 to 30.
I'm out of ready.
Obviously, the thing with BOA is the 4 pieces I have is they continue to improve as I level up. So we want to keep moving. You know, if you guys have any thoughts on stuff, I'd love to hear them. So much better being able to talk to other people than hear myself talk for a while. I do enjoy it though. It's pretty fun to be able to play and kind of commentate on what's going on. And just learn. It's nice to get feedback, sometimes even if it's not well received. But so I'll probably have this video uploaded. Oh, beautiful. Just ever and accept, and then we're just set. Let's go. You guys are in for a treat.
Goddess, bless
You guys are in for a true treat. And it's a high level dungeon. Alright, this is gonna be a long video. So I'm gonna end this one here, and I'm gonna pick right back up, because we're kinda at the 40-minute mark. But yeah, next video, you'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. We'll speak again.